Hi there, this is Ranjit from tech2buzz.com, and in this video we're going to do the full review of this Asus RTN66U dual band Wi-Fi router. This is a high-end Wi-Fi router from Asus that supports 450 megabits Wi-Fi connection on both the 2.4 gigahertz and the 5 gigahertz band, and also all the ports at the back are gigabit ports. Not only that, but this router can do additional two functions. That is, it has two USB ports at the back, and using that you can connect a hard drive to the same and download torrents, etc. directly on the router without even switching on your computer. Also, this router supports 3G data card so that you can use that and connect to the internet. And this is the router. Let's have a closer look at the same. And this is how the actual router looks. And here we have some LED notification light. I'll go about them later on when I power on the router. And on this side we have quite a few vents. Again, if we move towards the back, the power adapter goes in over here. We have two USB slots and we have one WAN port, and we have four Ethernet ports. The WAN port and even all these four Ethernet ports are gigabit ports, and we also have a WPS button over here. And the good thing is about this router is that these antennas, the three antennas, are removable, so you can easily plug a higher gain antenna if you like. But again, I found the performance of this router, even with the stock antenna, to be really spectacular. And moving towards this side, again we have quite a few vents, and on the back again we have a lot of vents to dissipate the heat. And you can adjust the antennas like this if you would like. So this is how the router looks when it's connected, and these LEDs light up over here, and you can place this router in this position, or Asus also provides us the stand, and you can easily mount it at the back and place the router like this if you would like it to look like this. I'll just place it back. Now let me show you the LED lights. This is for the power, and these four are for the Ethernet ports. I have just three Ethernet ports connected, that's why only three of them are glowing. And this is for the internet, and if you're connected to the internet and there is activity, it blinks. And this is for the 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi band, and this is for the 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi band. And we also have the last LED, that is for USB. If you have any USB device connected, this will glow. And right now I have connected this hard drive, that's why it's glowing. One little con that I have with this router is the top portion of this router can get pretty hot if you live in a particularly warm country or a tropical country like India, where in summers the temperatures can go pretty warm. For example, in my office, if I do not switch on my AC, the temperatures can rise to about 32 or 33 degrees centigrade. And in those conditions, I found the router to get very hot. And in one instance, it stopped functioning properly, and I had to shut down the router for about 2 minutes to get it back working. So just make sure that this router is not placed in a very hot environment, because this router tends to get very warm. As this router supports both the 2.4 gigahertz and the 5 gigahertz band, let me first talk about the 2.4 gigahertz band. And for all router testing, I have divided my apartment into 4 zones. That's the A, B, C, and D. And the A zone is just 5 feet away from the router. There's no obstruction. The B zone has one physical wall, and the target devices are kept at 23 feet. And we have the C zone, that is 33 feet away from the router, and we have two physical walls between them. And finally we have the D zone, that's about 55 feet away from the router, and we have almost 3 brick walls in between them. And I have to say, this router excelled in the 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi throughput, and even the range. The range that I got with the router was exceptional. And let me show you some of the figures. This is the chart. We'll have a look at the same. And this is the raw throughput at 2.4 gigahertz, and it's in megabits per second. Higher the figure, the better the throughput. And the Asus RTN66U is the last one in the table. So as you can see, in the 2.4 gigahertz band, this router excelled, and in my testing, it beat all existing routers that I have tested. And now let's move to the 5 gigahertz band. Again, do note that 5 gigahertz band does not provide the range but provides higher throughput speeds. And I've tested this at 300 megabits. I could not test it with the 450 megabits variant because I didn't have a data card that supported that speeds. And these are some of the results based on the 5 gigahertz band. Again, the last one is the RTN66U, and again, if you see in the zone B and C, it clearly dominates. Again, as you can see, it was the top chart leaders again in the 5 gigahertz band. Again, I have to say it excelled in the zone C, where generally I find most of the 5 gigahertz band routers to drop out. But again, I got consistent and very good results even in the zone C. Again, as expected, it couldn't touch the zone D. But again, it provides, I would say, a far better throughput in the 5 gigahertz band compared to other 5 gigahertz band routers. Again, I would just go back to the 2.4 gigahertz band. I tested this router even on my garden terrace, where mostly every Wi-Fi router cannot reach that point, and this router was able to reach even that spot in the 2.4 gigahertz band, and I was able to stream YouTube videos etc. even at that spot. So even with the default antennas that are provided with this router, the range that it offers on the 2.4 gigahertz band is, I would say, exceptional. Now let me give you an overview of the USB port at the back of the router. I'm logged into the admin interface of this router. I have made another video regarding in-depth review of the admin interface, so if you want to know about that, you should check out that video. Here in the USB application, you have a lot of options. For example, you can share this USB disk throughout the internet. You can use this AI disk option, and also you can set up simple shares. And this router also has DLNA capability, so that you can just connect a portable hard drive and share that content to your DLNA enabled device like computers or Xboxes and PS3. You can easily toggle between them, and you can also enable the iTunes server, and we also have network shares, so you have complete control over that. And happy to say that this network shares work beautifully with Windows and even Mac computers. And we can also enable or disable FTP shares if you would like. Again, the USB throughput is just average, I would say. On a Windows-based computer, the read speeds that I was getting from the USB were just about 10.1 MB per second, and on the Mac I was getting about 13.6 MB per second. It's not the best, but again, it is, I would say, good, and you can easily use this router as a mini NAS to serve files. Also, this router provides us the option of network enabling your printer, so you can use that. I personally didn't check this. And also this router, as I had mentioned earlier, can accept 3G data card, so that you can get internet facility using 3G dongle. Again, you have to just make sure the 3G dongle that you're using is compatible with this router. So you need to check out the ASUS website and check out if your model is listed. They have quite a few models that are listed, but again, I would suggest that if you're going to use this functionality, just make sure your 3G data card is supported. And another good thing about this router is that this router has a built-in download master, so you can just use this to download torrents etc. directly to the router even when your PC is switched off. And the good thing is that now they have made this just a web-enabled service, so it works with every operating system like Windows, Mac etc. And it's very simple. You just hit this add button, and here you just select the torrent file etc. and just assign it, and it will download that file directly to the attached hard drive even when your PC is switched off. It did not work with HTTP downloads, but I tried it with a couple of torrents and it worked beautifully. Now we are testing the power efficiency of this ASUS RTN66U router, and I've attached my power meter, and as you can see, it's consuming approximately about 9.9 to 10 watts of power. This is with the 2.4 and the 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi band enabled, and I have two computers connected via the Ethernet port. And I would say it's not really efficient, because I've seen other dual band routers to consume just about 6.5 watts or 7 watts of power. Now what I'm going to do is, now I'm going to attach this portable hard drive, and let's see how much power it consumes. I've just attached the portable hard drive. As you can see, it's now pulling approximately about 2.5 watts more, and we can say that with the one USB device attached, it will consume approximately about 12 watts of power. Again, how would I rate this router? Again, I would say this is not a cheap router. This router is a pretty expensive router. In US, at the time of shooting this video, I just checked this prices on Amazon, and it was selling for about $180. And in India, this router sells for about rupees 13 to 14,000, and that is a pretty expensive router, I would say. Again, if you keep the pricing aside, I would say this router is pretty good, but it's not everything is not rosy. One thing I did not like about it is that the router heats up a lot, and that can sometimes cause stability issues. In my testing for about 20 days, I had to reboot the router 2 times. Again, I would say that this was due to the amount of heat that it was generating. It was not because of the router failure or anything. And I was testing this router in my office, and generally in one instance I had shut off the AC, and I came after about 5 or 6 hours and the router was very hot. So heat is one issue that I have a con with this router. Also regarding the USB throughput, I would say it is good but not the best. And also, if you've noticed the power ratings, I feel that this router consumes a lot more power compared to other dual band routers. Again, I would say this is one of the best routers right now in terms of throughput and the Wi-Fi range that you can offer. I hope you found this video review helpful. If you found it helpful, I'll appreciate if you can click the like button given below. You can also subscribe to my channel by clicking the subscribe button. Thereby you'll be automatically notified whenever I add a new video. That's it for now. This is Ranjit from tech2buzz.com, and I hope to see you in my next video.